Of course, the big headline maker was a month or so ago when Honor, the private equity-based technology company, announced that they had acquired Home Instead Senior Care, the largest home care franchise in the country, probably in the world. And this created quite a stir and a great deal of interest. If you go back in the history of Honor, they've been around since around 2015, and they raised some private equity money with the intention of, quote, Uberizing the home care space. All of us have used Uber and we know how that works. And they said, well, we're going to apply a similar principle, and families can go on their app and request a caregiver, and somebody will show up in 20 minutes and do care. Well, we know that home care isn't quite like that. It's more of a relationship business. And so they were challenged by that first model. They were also challenged because they're based in California, and initially their caregivers were 1099 independent contractors. State of California said, we don't like that. They need to be employees. So that changed the model, which of course changes the economics. And they really had a difficult time getting traction with that model. So then they came out and announced the Honor Care Network, where they would partner with independent home care companies and apply their technology to help companies recruit caregivers, manage scheduling, manage billing. And so the owner of the local company would be focused on sales and marketing and on client care coordination, and the back office and recruiting and all of those other pieces would be handled by Honor. They've gotten some traction with that. Still not sure quite how many partners they have taken into place. And so now they've announced the acquisition of Home Instead. So there's a great deal of discussion around, well, what does that mean for Home Instead? What does that mean for the franchise sector? And what does that mean for home care in general? And we'll continue to watch that. We've talked with some of the Home Instead franchisees to get their take on it. We've talked to some other franchisors, and we're always paying attention to big news-making trends like that. The other big trend in the industry with regard to mergers and acquisitions is Home Care Assistance, which was a mid-sized franchise company. I say mid-sized in the middle of the top 10. And they were acquired by a private equity group. And their move was to buy back some of their independent or individual franchisees, and then to acquire other independent home care companies and consolidate them under the Home Care Assistance brand. We have had 4 of our mastermind members be acquired by Home Care Assistance in the past 14 months. And I've talked with the sellers, and of course they are bound by non-disclosure agreements, so they're not giving us all of the details, but based on talking to a number of people, we have a sort of a sense of where Home Care Assistance is going with that. And they continue to be quite aggressive in reaching out to independent companies and making offers that are quite generous compared to what the multiples of EBITDA have been in the past. Another acquisition that we heard of just about 2 weeks ago is 24-Hour Home Care in Southern California that acquired the personal care division of Grand Care Health Services, also in California, which is a major home health agency. And so this is one of the first major acquisitions on the part of 24-Hour Home Care. They've grown very well through organic growth in adding new offices, adding new people, and a very, very successful company, mostly in California, but also with offices in Phoenix and in Dallas. So another significant player. I mentioned earlier the private equity group that acquired a very large Home Instead franchise here in Louisville, Kentucky. And that franchise had been a client of ours in the past. And so we know a little tiny bit about that. And as I said, I think this may be the first time in my awareness where a private equity group has been able to acquire an individual franchise location. In terms of seasoned, experienced home care owners, moving up their exit time. We've had 8 members we have 50 companies in our home care CEO forum. We have 8 members be acquired during the past 16 months. One of those is under a letter of intent or LOI right now, and they expect to close in mid to late October. And then we've also have 3 of our members who are doing due diligence right now to acquire another home care company. So there's a lot of activity in mergers and acquisitions, and seasoned owners and CEOs in this business are really taking notice and paying attention and looking at what's going on in the industry to ask themselves, how will this affect me?
Mm-hmm.